Hello everyone, you're watching Jana FX, and finally I'm back with my new trading season, with my technical analysis for the Forex market, also oil and Bitcoin. And I'm going to share with you my thoughts on what is happening and what I am going to look at for next possibly maybe a few weeks. I'm making right now the video for the next week, but I'm not going to look into the smaller time frame, so we'll have a look at main pairs, important levels as usual, and what I am thinking of. Also guys, so as you know, I have introduced you to Yield Notes program, which is doing very well, and a lot of you are very happy. So it's the opportunity, completely hands-free. You still can join and check the previous videos while I was resting, as I was saying to you guys and informing you. The guys will continue master noding, and you still can join the program, and you can find the links in the description under this video. So saying you that is because I'm also looking into another opportunity. Possibly was contacted by some other guys also, and they have Forex trading EAs, which they're using right now, and they're doing quite well. And so I'm trying at this moment to see how it will perform. Just like I did with Yield Notes, I tried it myself first before I actually told you about it. So if it's going to go well, because it looks very promising, have really good results, I will share it with you guys also. And if you are obviously interested, it's going to be also completely hands-free. Well, you can join my Telegram channel, which is also absolutely free, which is Jana FX. You can find also link in the description under this video, and then you will not going to miss any updates from me. I will be sharing it with you a little bit later. In my other videos, of course, the progress of the trading, okay, these other guys are doing. So, and now let's go back to our main topic, of course, the analysis for the coming week possibly. So starting with Eurodollar, as you remember last time I have made my last video last year where I was giving you a little bit of ideas, because I don't usually trade that time, and it was for the winter time, January. Expectation the most was all around the COVID, right? Possible lockdowns, and I was telling you we need to see what is going to be happening. And so that time I was only waiting for a possible if there would have been restrictions and a very bad situation like it was in the first wave. I was waiting for a possible drop, right, on most of the pairs. So that's what I was telling you about. But this year it wasn't as bad, so didn't have as strict lockdown, so that's why it didn't happen. And pretty much the expectation, for example, right now we're looking at Eurodollar, was that there will be a consolidation, some kind of, right? So expectation, consolidation, and then a possible move. So that's, as you can see, what happened. Eurodollar was consolidating, then it had a little bit of break, which was again my expectation that it will go lower, and then you see it came back, and at this moment it's more looking like it's starting to go back up. But right now the main concentration all over the markets are, of course, the situation between Russia, right, and Ukraine and the whole world, okay, the invasion, and a lot of now going to be speculations around it, information, so you need to be really careful, okay? So that's why, of course, at this moment I would have been also better to sit and wait a little bit to see what is going to happening. And of course, again, if there will be some invasion or whatever, any movements happening, of course, expectation would be that dollar will get stronger, like the CHF, the Swiss franc, the yen and gold, they of course should all jump, right? And oil, for example, so that all should make the moves. And like pairs like euro, pound, the expectation would have been, of course, for them to drop. And so that's why I was thinking, if something like this happening, then I will be trying to get into the trades. Of course, opposite, huge drop, then I will be buying, okay? So, and for example, like euro and pound, so that's what I was again waiting for the most, to see what is going to happen, because right now quite possibly it could be something positive, the market will jump up, something negative, the market will jump down. So need to be really careful at this moment. So that's why maybe sometimes you need to be a little bit waiting. So looking at Eurodollar, I'm going to show you again a bigger picture, so we would see why it's so much uncertainty in here and what to expect. We have, you see, the previous very low bottom. That's why I was telling you, if there is something with the COVID, would have been, I was expecting that it could drop even below 1 again, right? So for example, here I would be looking like at huge buys, okay, if something like this would happen, because with the war, if it actually will start really bad, could be the same huge drop, okay? So like, I don't think so, but who knows? So that's why, for example, I was waiting for here, keeping an eye to see, okay, maybe I would have to jump into the trades right here. So, but if we will see technically, remember guys, all of these levels going through, so we do have a little bit of the triangle I was telling you about, and this possibly could be the third bottom, right? Plus minus if I have the levels right, but because we have all of these little bottoms, so you see, if we're using the previous really low bottom and connecting, then this little wings are just breakouts, right? So like fake breakouts, we are calling them. But that means that this possibly at the third bottom. And so of course, because of this, the expectation from here that the pair should go back up and then create us at least the next third top, or try to break out and actually started to go even higher, which could possibly be if the economy was started to get better, they all come down with the war situation, and closer to summer months, or maybe low, like autumn time, something like this, because of the economy, right? We need to see how the countries will start to recover from the COVID situation. So you see that because of that, yes, it does look like it's possible turning around and looking good. But if still will be the situation, and if we will, for example, exclude that level, we still have, for example, connect just these two bottoms, then you can see, guys, that the third bottom might not be even created yet, even if we will use all of these bottoms quite nicely and not taking these wicks. Then you can see the pair is still a little bit higher, and that's why, for example, it could go a little bit lower and then create that bottom, which would be probably could be around 110, something like this. You see, it could be even lower, 109, and that could be the third one, okay? So the third bottom, or even breakout, which is, I'm saying, can't exclude that it can go down. We had this before, you see, a little bit of consolidation previously here, so I would not be surprised if it could go down to 104, whatever it was previously, and then jump from there and sit in this area a little bit until a little bit more clarity is going to happen, you see. So that's why at this moment it's really hard to say, but I would rather, to be honest, okay, on maybe smaller time frames, to go for a short time, short trades, yes, small trades, not selling, I mean, but the like few, whatever, a day trade, right? During the day you go into the trade and you close the position, right? Not go for the long term. Right now I'm showing you the bigger picture for the long term, and that's why, for example, I would have been seeing if it going to drop somewhere, then to see why did it drop, and then to look at the buys, of course, for example, from this level, if it's not dropping completely dramatically, right, with the whatever happening. So that's why at this moment it's kind of really hard to say. It's looking like, yes, going in the uptrend, but still could create this next bottom, okay? So that's my position at this moment, is a little bit of the waiting. You see, on the smaller time frames, I did create this little uptrend channel, so I can see as that what we had. It was a bearish flag, which was broken, and then it's returned, but it stays inside. So you see, it's slightly below 113.40, 113.70, so it's around 113.40, and if we'll go on even smaller, like 4-hour chart, as I'm saying, I don't want to go a bit too small, because all of these ups and downs, we can see here a double top, okay? So you see, it's a bit of a signal of a double top that quite possibly it might continue the way down back to the previous level and maybe even further. So all of this negativity turned with all this news that possibly they are even more concerned about the invasion, okay, the Russia invade Ukraine, and all this news started with going back down. So so that's why, for example, in here, with the opening of the market, it could be gap or anything else. I need to see what is going to happen, and paying a lot of attention all of this news. So quite a lot of this telling you guys, and but that's what it is. You need to concentrate on it. The same situation, obviously, like I'm saying to you guys with pound, it started to also, it went down to, his expectation was right to about 131, didn't reach 30 exactly where we had previous pin. I have been waiting for this move quite a while. Remember, here's the pins, it's covered it pretty much, and but didn't finish it completely. And you see it had a really nice jump, so turned around, and but still it stays, for me, it stays inside the downtrend channel. Okay, so it's in downtrend channel. There are some better news view with the economy, slightly better, and we had a jump, but then we had a situation with Prime Minister, and of course I was also waiting and hoping for a good move. Okay, so of course if the Prime Minister would have resigned, we would see a huge drop. Okay, well, looks like it's not going to happen, but even if it will happen, of course I was expecting a huge drop, and I was looking, of course, the massive buys for me was around this area, just to see if it will drop as bad as it was like previous, all this uncertainty. And but because it's not happening, but again with the possible war situation, I would be still looking at possible continued down. Okay, continue for pound getting a bit weaker. Anyway, dollar is much stronger at this moment, and here it's also, I can see creation of possible double top, right? But of course, like I'm saying, we had a previous bottom was still above another one, right? The first one here. So you see, it could be possible a moving a little bit up, but this top didn't break the trend level and didn't go above the previous top. So that's why in this situation right now, yes, it does look like more towards the downward than the going upwards. Okay, upwards. But of course, like I'm saying, if there is anything positive, that could be another jump for all the pairs against the dollar. But like you see in this situation, this moment, I can see a bit of the double top and possibly a breakout of this area. It will continue the way down. Of course, it might be stopped by the level of that uptrend channel, right? It can be stopped by this, or possibly will continue a little bit more down. So that's what I'm saying, guys. Like, I am not saying about my entry points at this point, because this uncertainty, what is going to happen with the war situation. Okay, so but technically looking, it's the mixture, right? Mix, because basically pound, of course, should be going down with all the situation with the Prime Minister, right? With still not certainty with the after Brexit. We still haven't been finished all the talks, right? The Brexit talks, and now it's war situation. It's all looking more towards going down. Okay, more going down, and this is where I was thinking to look at possible then looking into buys when it will make these moves and a little bit clear situation. So we will see what will be happening during this week. But at this moment, it's quite pretty much an uncertainty, but still more towards downtrend for me. Dollar yen, obviously you see it was going up quite strong, which was expected, and then it's quite sitting in the same area, which I was telling you also my expectation was that it might sit a little bit here before it will decide where to go next, because it's been going quite away. Of course, more main expectation would be it needs a bit of a correction, right, to go down. And obviously mix also for dollar yen could be because dollar getting stronger, but because of the war situation, the yen will be getting stronger too. So quite possibly maybe just to avoid this pair for now, as it could be jumps, ups and downs. But of course, like I'm saying, technically looking, it's more towards to go for correction, right? So for example, you see here, it didn't break the previous top, it sits in here, it started to go a little bit down, and quite possibly with the situation, it might continue the way down. Okay, so but I'm not looking into dollar yen at this moment, because I just explained to you why. But you see that on Friday, when they said about that they thinking is definitely going to be happening, you see that was the drop. But dollar itself is a bit stronger economically, so that's why I would just probably wait again with dollar yen. Dollar Canadian, the same situation. It is an uptrend channel as expected. We turned it around, and it's continuing the way up, and right now it's somewhere in the middle. So obviously again, dollar is stronger than Canadian, but Canadian dollar is stronger because of the oil. Okay, so if the oil will go up, then of course the dollar should be a little bit weaker against that. That's why we do have a little bit here, again, you see uncertainty and consolidation, as it's not, it doesn't know where to go. On this of the view, you can see it's a little bit looking to me as a uptrend bullish flag. Okay, so that's why, of course, in here I would see it more continue the way up, which would have been the case if there would be no situation with the America, US and Russia situation, right, and the oil. So if they will come down, I pretty much would be expecting that, of course, if the oil started to go back down again, then dollar Canadian nicely would just continue its way up, because it is an uptrend channel. It's definitely an uptrend channel right now. But what can happen again? So if oil will start to continue the way up, so then it might go down a little bit, quite possibly stay in the same area or maybe slightly higher. And if not dramatically anything, and again oil will start to go for correction at least, then it will start to continue the way up. So that's why I would be, of course, looking for more into the buys for dollar CAD, but not in right now at this moment situation. We will see what's going to be happening, because like in Friday they started to talk about this definitely invasion they're thinking of. That's why could be speculations again. Let's see how the market opens and what they're going to say again. Australian dollar, to be honest, I probably wouldn't go for Australian dollar, even feel like dollar is stronger than Australian dollar itself, but Australia is not as much, I think, would be affected with all the situation with the war. That's why I think the better opportunity with the other pairs than Australian. But the main picture, as you can see, guys, it's in a downtrend, but you see it didn't break the support level, a very strong support level. It's created a bit of a double bottom, and so it does look like technically it's in downtrend channel, but it's in a correction at this moment. You see it's a little correction here, so from here again it might drop again, break it through, or try to continue inside this channel, right, inside this channel, try to continue, go back, cover the pin. It will cover it at one point. It might try to again do it, so quite possibly it might go again to this top, and then from there started to go back down again, and from there, if it will start to go back down in here and stop somewhere in the middle, then we would be able to connect one bottom and another and try to turn it around, right, to reverse it, because at this moment you can't do it because the bottoms are here on the same level. So you see pretty much we can't at this moment to think and expect it to go back up, right? So something like this, but that means we need that either stop in here somewhere and start it to go back up, or finish it and then turn, and then we will be expecting it to break out from the downtrend channel. So at this moment we kind of thinking something like this, right? I would be, but it's not confirming anything yet. So that's why as it is, it just not giving anything. So that's why it might just stuck in here for a while before something else come out. So we will see, but at this moment I will just wait a little bit, maybe for better opportunity. I mean, of course I can try to see if it will break out this area and to go for a smaller trade, but I'm using a little bit different strategy at this moment, so I just would rather just wait a little bit. But of course in here it looks a little bit like a bearish flat continuation could be, but at the same time you see it can continue in this little uptrend channel. Okay, pound yen. Well, pound yen was also, you see, consolidating in this area for quite a while now, which is also not a surprise, because you see it's a huge triangle, right? Very big triangle. We have two tops, we have two bottoms, and that's the third top. And that's why it's not a surprise. We are sitting here and we don't know where to go next, right? Either break out from it to go higher or go back in. Again, with the pound situation, I would have, of course, expected more to go back in, okay? To go back in again, maybe not create another bottom, but actually inside this channel, go back down and give us another wherever bottom, I mean in here, in this channel. And then from there started to pick up, because my position is still for a bit weaker pound because of still uncertainty with the Brexit situation, wherever the Prime Minister situation now, and stronger economy, right? So the change of the economy. At this moment, economy is looking like it shows a little bit improvements, but not yet. I mean, of course, the situation with COVID much better. All restrictions pretty much are gone. But now is war, okay? The war situation, and of course, like I told you guys, the yen is getting stronger, right? So that's why all of this taken to the account, more expectation would be for it to a bit of drop, okay? We've seen it had a really good, you see, it's a very strong support level. We've been here so many times, and to be honest, I would more towards to see it breaking, okay? Because just think of it, a lot of stops are sitting here, just a lot of here to collect. So basically, because it's been consolidating, it's broke the stop a little bit. They collected it here. The stops not as much as here as here. So that's why logically thinking, all of this I would have pushed it more down, take it all, and then stop somewhere wherever it would want. I don't think like going a little even further, unless, like I'm saying, if it would have been, of course, resignation of the prime minister, it would have definitely dropped a lot, and then it would have been great opportunities to jump into the trades. Still keep an eye on it, like, but I'm saying I think they're not going to vote to get rid of prime minister, but who knows? So watch out for this. So we are not excluding this possibility, but just technically looking, it's more looking it should go back down, okay? So to me, and also here you see it's created double top, which is also another signal for a possible pair to go down, okay? So that's why in here, of course, would have been looking more towards selling, but again, the market can open with a huge gap, so we will see where the gap is, what during the weekend, because you never know. What if tomorrow they will start to do something? Right now we're going to say about this thing. Tomorrow they're going to say, well, okay, that's it. They agreed peace. There is nothing is going to happen, and it's all come down. And of course, then pound yen also can jump up. And again, it could be, if it will jump up and create a gap, then of course it's not going to be long term. It will be just a reaction. So if it will jump up, have a little bit of consolidation or anything, then there would be possibility for selling. Okay, so good moment to sell. So that's why. With the opening of the market, if there will be gaps, if something happens during this weekend, then it's great opportunities, okay? Great opportunities, how to trade gaps. I already was making the videos previously. You can check them because it's going to be too long video if I'll tell you what to do if the gaps will happen, okay? So that's why if the gaps happens, we're doing one thing. If gaps will not happen, technically we are looking at in this situation going down with the whatever during the weekend, war, no war, other news, then we will see. But at this moment it's more looking towards the downtrend, okay, going down. Okay, now we're going to gold. So that's pretty much my view with the main pairs. Gold, so you see guys, I was telling you previously that I saw gold more going up because of the COVID situation. Because of the war situation, I was also expecting gold to go much higher by now, but it didn't. You see, it was sitting and pretty much not making like very big moves. Just like COVID situation didn't do much, and the war situation also, because the dollar was stronger. So now you see, because on Friday they were like saying all of this talkings, right, about war, it's jumped like straight away. So that's why if it will continue the same this weekend or whatever this week, of course, if it will even happen, there is something happen. I think that what can happen is, of course, the provocation, and someone will do some bits of the shooting or anything can happen out there, but I don't think it will go into a long-term war. I think that could be short-term, something's happening, and if that's happening with gold, just like with the other pairs I was telling you, then of course it could shoot. Gold can shoot, of course, higher than anything else, right? And I wouldn't be surprised to see it somewhere in 2000, okay? I wouldn't be surprised if the war will actually happen. Any shootings, any going into the territory of Ukraine, I would have seen this. And it could be with a huge gap if it actually happens, like for example, like this weekend, something, that's it. So that would be great opportunity, okay? So of course need to see how long the gold would jump and would continue go up if this would happen, okay? But then it would be great opportunity to look for sell. Okay, definitely, because this would be all the reaction on this news, and then at some point the gold will have a really good drop, okay? So that's why at this moment I see a little bit dangerous to actually buy it, because if during weekend there will be some agreement to anything else, then of course from here it can fall straight away down, because we have still pin here. It's a triangle, which means uncertainty. It sits in there. Yes, it's broke it. We know why. And but that's pretty much it. It just broke it, but there is nothing else. It didn't sit in the top. It didn't consolidate on top. It just broke, and it can easily jump back in. Okay, because the COVID is much better situation now, and if America and Russia will agree, they will sit and everything will come down, it will fall. Okay, so that's why I think for gold it needs a really good moment. I mean, of course, depends how big your account is. You can do something already and then sit and wait. But if you don't so, then sit and wait until the good moment will happen. Okay, so also you see guys, if something like this, the jump will happen, it will create a perfect double top pattern, which also would be a great signal to do some sales. But at this moment it's trying to jump out from it. Even if it's just going to be again, who knows what's going to happen with gold. You see it can be breakout, go slightly higher. You see yes, the bottom say bit going higher and higher. It's broke the previous top, so it's easily can go and continue the way up. But it's harder for gold to go up, because like I'm saying, stronger dollar, not much with the COVID. It's better for it to go down and collect all of this. Imagine how many stops are here, pin a lot. So drop in here, it could be a very nice opportunity. And then of course nice to look for the buys also, but we would have to look where to buy, because it could be a big drop below that level and even further. And then we need to see why it happened and what is going on. But this moment we're sitting in here, and that's my position. So right now we'll just wait a little bit. Even like I'm saying, with this breakout, it's broke a bit, but that's pretty much it. Okay, so that's just reaction on the news, and with the open the market might be falling or continue the way up. So at this moment, yes, pretty much nothing, just waiting time a bit. With oil, pretty much nothing to say. It's reacting right now on the news with the war, and of course if they will continue with that, it will go and probably will hit 100. Okay, so who knows, 100 can go even higher, and then that's it. You just need to wait what's going to happen next. You see right now it's just pretty much all of this around the news, what is going on. Okay, so you see it's just continue here. It had a really nice double bottom, which could have been used for possible entry points, and I had this uptrend channel, and pretty much you see it's nothing to say. So it just I mean, of course if it will all come down, then of course gold oil will come down too, but at this moment with the tensions, I only see it going up at this moment. So that's why pretty much there's nothing else to say. I wouldn't go into the trades either also at this moment, because yes, it can drop easily with any other news, because at this moment it just jumped. There was no correction. Of course everybody's waiting for a correction, but if everything is going on, you wouldn't know is it going to happen now, because there is nothing. If you would look at patterns or anything, we don't have any patterns to look at. There is nothing to see, and well, daily chart to see, to go into wherever any trade. So that's why I'd rather just wait a bit. Bitcoin, well, Bitcoin didn't have much of a kind of news, but it goes exactly how I was expecting it with the last my video. Technically, just like I was telling you, if there is nothing happening, the picture was exactly, you see all of that drop. I told you about it before I gone on my holiday, okay, on my rest. I was telling you about this drop because it was the channel and logical expectation for correction, right? And I was telling you drop around 40 and even further. We had this little channel where we were expecting it could have been continue, but I was telling you it wouldn't be as symmetrical, right? In Forex, symmetrical from here, jump back up. It would have been only happen if there would be some really good news, but nothing was happening, and pretty much it's continued perfectly. You see I haven't changed any channels. That's exactly how it was, and you see it's exactly how it touched my level, come back, touched another level and stayed, but it stays above 40 now. Okay, so what's the expectation now? Of course, guys, remember I was telling you it would have been nice if it would go down, come back and stays above the channel, right? Or at least stays here and then like maybe go more and then go back down. So not very nice that it actually came back inside this channel. I mean, yes, the expectation was it could go that. It happened, and we're still in uptrend channel, okay? But this is stopping from Bitcoin to continue the way up, technically, okay? Again, technically, not talking about the news right now, because again, if there is any news, anything can happen. But let's talk about technical picture. So technical picture is we are in both channels, okay? We are in both channels. Yes, the 40 is quite important level, and if we will look on a daily chart, right? So what happened is, right, so that was here support pretty much. So it broke down and it came back inside, right, over 40, and it's creating a bit looking like possibly head and shoulders, upside down, head and shoulders. So that looks like two signals we do have. The one signal is that we are still inside the uptrend channel, which is good. So we've been stopped by this level. It didn't break it further down and came back. It stayed inside it, and it's creating a double, creating head and shoulders. So that's why pretty much from here, if it will sit in here, right, and sit in here, then the expectation would be more that we will continue upwards, right? So we will go up, and of course with the still positivity with the Bitcoin, the expectation would be that we should continue the way up. And it's created this little pin, which also quite more looking like towards the going up. Okay, so yes, that's would have been one possibility of looking at it. So like I'm saying, from here it might go a little bit, sit a little bit in here in this area, right, and then continue the way up. Okay, unless so it could do bit consolidate and go back and then create another top. Okay, so on this creating another top, and then it can continue going back down again. So what can happen on a bigger time frame is that the pair might stuck in here a little bit if there like uncertainty or anything, and technically also because it's inside downtrend channel and uptrend channel. You see, like I told you, if it would have stayed a little bit more above and then dropped above that level, that would have been more, I would have been more towards, yes, we will continue the way up. But because it's actually sitting here and actually stopped, I will not be excluding that it might just sit in here a little bit, and it even might break even further down. Yes, I will not be surprised that it can do so. Like we were saying, like, okay, false breakout, yes, easily can do so. Go down here a little bit, go to like take that bottom maybe, and then try to turn around. Okay, so then like we will be okay, we sit in here a little bit, it's dropped, came back, and then started to pick up again. Could be this scenario. Also could be scenario that will create just a double bottom, okay, the one bottom, and then it will go and give another bottom and then come back again and then continue the way up. Yes, it could be all of these possibilities that could possibly be, okay. And the only what I would have done, for example, buy and just sit on it, okay, so just for the long term, because it's a really nice price at this moment. I mean, okay, here was better price, and which I showed you this level. So when it was going down here, you could have buy in here also, right, and just sit on it long term. Okay, so long term, sit on it, and then when wait for it to go back up again. So if you can do something like that, I mean, okay, once again, not to sell the house for it, okay, or all of your savings, but just a little bit, because in case it might drop a little bit further, right? Okay, it could possibly be just because of this downtrend channel sitting in it. Okay, so it's jumped inside it, and you see it's stopped by this level, so it does look like it has that resistance in here. So well, that's pretty much it, guys. Just with Bitcoin, just my view is like this. Just buy it a little bit and then sit on it, okay? Wait and then see what's going on next. If going for the short trades, like I'm saying, I don't really look into the short trades with Bitcoin at this moment, but just watch this area, okay? Watch this area. For, like I'm saying, maybe it would want to be more accumulation before a big move would happen. So it could just sit here a little bit, and well, okay, could be little opportunities, buy and sell the short term, and make a little bit profit on this, and then it will have enough in here then to see it's shooting up, but like I'm saying, not excluding it might shoot back down, but that probably would be better to see with something on the news, okay, something on the news. But technically, to me, it's more looking towards the uptrend, okay, towards it will break out and then continue the way up, but not just yet, as we saw. Still, like let's say the shoulder needs to be created on that smaller time frame. As you can see, the shoulder hasn't been created yet, so that's why it might go a bit down first, and then to see a possible starting to pick up again. Well, that's it pretty much all, guys, for today. I hope you liked the video, of course, and if you like it, don't forget to subscribe. And happy trading, everyone. Be careful once again, and I see you in my next video. Bye, everyone.